Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Monique Agbo and I upload student story and lifestyle content on this channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you all how I made this beautiful bubble short skirt. If that's something you're interested in watching, let's head over to this tutorial together. So to make a bubble skirt, these are the materials you need. You need your crepe fabric, you need a lining for it, you need your zip, and you need your thread and your scissors. So let's start. So the first thing you need is your waist measurement, and my waist measurement is 34. I am going to multiply it by 3, and that will give me 102 inches. If I measure from this part down to the end of this fabric, I have 102 inches. And that is the same circumference I have on the second side of this skirt. So one of this side will serve as the upper part and one will serve as the lower part. And for this skirt, mine is going to have a band, and the band I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. So from this 1.5 inches, you're going to mark it out like this. Can you see? Then you mark your 24, because the length of my skirt is 24 inches. So I took away 1.5 inches and I measured my 24 inches. So can you see how it looks like? So that's basically all about this skirt. So don't forget, let me do a recap. Your waist circumference multiplied by 3, you measure it and cut it out. It should be the same on both sides. Then if you want to use 1.5 inches or 2 inches, you can do that, but for me, for my band, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. Then you measure it out like this. You measure it to the length. My length is 24, so can you see I took 1.5 inches and I measured my length. Then you just cut it out. So for the lining too, this is what it looks like. You can see I already even went ahead to join it because it was not up to 102 inches, which is my waist circumference multiplied by 3. So I joined the lining so it can be complete. So I cut out the same thing. The only difference is that the lining is shorter than the main skirt by just 4 inches. So you can make use of 3 inches or 4 inches. So let me illustrate it with my tape rule. So remember that the length of my main fabric is 24 inches, and I told you that the lining has to be shorter. So now I'm going to take my 1.5 inches, which is the band, and measure it to the length. And you can see the length here is 20 inches. So like I said, your lining should be shorter than your lining. You can use 3 inches, you can use 4 inches, you can use 5 inches. It depends on what you want, but don't use more than 4 inches or 5 inches. So the length is the same thing, so the side is the same thing, the same 102 inches I cut out for my main fabric. The only difference on the lining is that it is shorter than the main fabric. So the next thing you are going to do is to identify the wrong side and the right side of your fabric. And for me, this is the right side, so I'm just going to chalk it on the wrong side to identify that this is the wrong side of my material. So like I said earlier, you take out your 1.5 inches for your band and you measure the length, which is 24 inches for my main fabric. And for the lining, when I take out my 1.5 inches allowance for the band, what I have is 20 inches. Can you see? Good. So let's proceed. So this is the right side. So your lining have to face the right side of your fabric. So this is the right side of my fabric because it already has a joining. So this part is going to serve as the upper part, and this part will serve as the down part. So we are working with the down part first. So I'm going to place it like this and I'll pin it. I'm going to pin it round. So So after pinning the down part of my fabric, so this is what it looks like. Can you see what it looks like? You can see it's the same length down to the down part. So now the next, after I've already pinned both the lining and the fabric together, the next thing I'm going to do now, from the first side, I'm just going to mark out 1.5 inches at this side. So from this side, I'll now start pleating it. Do we all understand? You just start pleating it. Then you have to make sure that your pleating has to be the it has to be your exact hip circumference, or 1 inch or 2 inches bigger than your hip circumference. For example, my hip circumference is 46, so whatever I pleat should be nothing less than 46 or 47, because by the time you want to wear it, you want to wear it with ease. If it is smaller than your hip circumference, you won't like it. It might be tight around your knee area or when you're trying to wear it. So just make sure it is your exact hip circumference, or 1 inch bigger than your hip circumference. So don't forget to mark your 1.5 inches at both ends of the skirt. Then you start your pleating. So let's do the pleating together. So like I said, we're starting from the down part of the skirt, and this is my 1.5 inches for my zip allowance. So I'm not going to pleat on it. So my actual pleating will now start from here. So you are taking both the lining with the fabric and you start pleating it.
Hold you for my
So guys, after pleating it, this is what it looks like. Can you see? This is what it looks like. And I have my space of 1.5 inches at both sides for the zip allowance area. So it should look like this. This is what you should have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to turn the edges of this side. This is where the zip allowance is going to be here. So what I'm going to do now is to take 1/4 inch and stitch it. So you are going to pull it. Remember I told you that the lining has to be shorter than the main fabric. So you pull it and make sure that it's the same measurement with the lining, like this. Can you see? So you just take 1/4 inch and stitch it. So you do the same thing for the other side. What we're basically doing is closing the edges. The zip allowance area, just going to close it to have a neat finishing. So you do the same thing on the second side too. So this is what it looks like after I've already closed the edge. Like I said, you raise it up and make sure that it is now the same length with the lining. Can you see? Then you stitch it. And I also did the same thing on the second side. And this is what it looks like on the second side. So I'm just going to turn it out. And I'm going to now put the lining like this. I'll make sure that it is well aligned, then I'll just pin it. So after pinning it, this is what it looks like. This is what you should have. Just make sure you pin it so it is well aligned. So you're just going to run a gather stitch, then gather it to your waist measurement plus your zip allowance. So you are going to gather it. So run a gather stitch, then you start gathering it to your waist measurement. So guys, this is what it looks like after I already did the gathers, as you can see. So you can see it's coming out already. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to attach the band. And I already went ahead to cut the band. So for my band, my waist is 34 plus my extra 3 inches for zip allowance. That's 1.5 at both sides. That will give me 38. What we have here is 45 inches. It's just better for you to make it longer than shorter. So after that, the width is 4 inches. So I went ahead to iron an interfacing on it. So I folded it into two like this, and I ironed 1/2 inch round. That's why you can see this iron gator line on my band, and I did the same thing for the second side. Just make sure that your band is way longer, not way longer than your waist, but at least 3 inches or 2 inches, because it's better for it to be longer than shorter. You can see my own, I still have excess, so by the time I attach it, I can just trim it off. All right, so let's proceed. So next, now to attach the band, I am going to flip it over to the wrong side. So after flipping it over to the wrong side, I am going to start stitching it. This 1/2 inch that I ironed, I will stitch it on the wrong side, please note. So by the time you open it, you should have something like this. Then this 1/2 inch here, you will just take it like this and stitch it very close to the edge so it can be neat. So that's how you're going to fix the band. So I'll just go and fix the band now, and to remain the zip.
I wanna be in your life until the night is over. I wanna hold you so tight, coming closer. It's never had of a life. Every single moment. Hold you for life.
So it looks like after I've already fixed the band. So the excess I told you about, this is it. So I'm just going to trim it off. So the next thing we want to do is to fix our band, is to fix the zip. So I'm just going to join both sides together. This is the zip I'll be working with, so I'm just going to measure it. I'll be making use of 8 inches for the zip. So from this part downwards, I'll just mark my 1.5 inches allowance and stitch it. So by the time I stitch it, there will be opening here, and that is where my zip will come in. I'll just go and fix the zip. So this is what the skirt looks like after I've already fixed the band and the zip. So that will be all about the skirt. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up so it can reach more people. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on your post notification bell so you can know anytime I upload a new video in my next upload. Bye guys.